Hi, it's Paddy Hirsch at Marketplace, here to talk to you about how banks are making money. And we know they're making money because they've just released earnings, and there are some big numbers there, not just in the earnings, but also in some of the bonuses. So how actually are these banks making money? Well, a number of ways, but one of the main ways they're making money is by lending, which is a real surprise to a lot of people who say that they cannot get a loan out of a bank for love nor money. And a lot of the banks are walking around saying, we can't do that much lending because the credit quality of the people that we've been lending to isn't that good. But the fact is that they are lending, they're making a lot of money from lending to one particular client. I'll show you how that works. So I'd like you to meet a friend of ours. Here he is. His name is Chase. And this is sort of about, 25 years ago. And young Chase has got a father. This is a nice sort of 60s haircut. Right? Young Chase has got a father who works as a banker. And Chase says to his dad one day, "Dad, how is it that you make money?" And his dad says, "Well, Chase, what I do is I make money from money." "Well, how do you do that?" He says, "Well, let me show you. I'm going to give you $1. What I want you to do is to take that dollar and I want you to make money out of it." Chase is like, "Oh, how the heck am I supposed to do that?" Because what you do is you look around for someone who needs $1 and you lend it to them and you charge them an interest rate. So at the end of a certain time, they give you some money, some extra money on top of the money that you lent them. Oh, Chase thinks, well, okay. So who needs money? Who do I know who needs money? "I know who needs money," he says. "Mommy needs money." That's right. Mommy has to go out and she has to buy things in the store. And he says to his mom, there's her earrings, look. Says to his mom, "Mom, would you like to borrow $1 to go to the store?" And she says, "I'd love to borrow $1, Chase. Thanks very much indeed." He says, "Okay, well, I'm actually going to charge you 5% interest on this dollar. So when you give it back to me in a week, you have to pay me 5 cents. Oh, Mom says, "Okay." So she takes the dollar. They write a little contract. Okay, here's the contract. Because Chase is, a bit of a literal guy. And we've got $1 for 1 week at 5% interest. 1 week later, we know how this works. The mother returns the dollar to Chase plus the 5 cents, which is the 5% interest. Then Chase returns the dollar, which he has borrowed for nothing from his father. Okay, and Chase ends up with a 5-cent profit. Okay, so Chase clearly got bit by the bug because skip, 25 years later, Chase is a very, very important banker. Okay, now what's happening now is that a certain somebody is giving Chase money, or practically giving Chase money. And that, of course, is a chap with a pair of glasses and slightly less hair. Here we are. You know who I'm talking about here. That's right, it's Mr. Ben Bernanke at the Fed. Okay, Ben at the Fed. Okay, and what the Fed is doing is because we've had a financial crisis, it is giving the banks a break. Banks like Chase are getting a break. What it's saying is it's practically giving these guys money. Okay, so it's giving them a big bag of money, thumping great big bag of money at practically 0% interest. So the loan goes to Chase, and Chase says to himself, "Okay, what did I learn when I was a kid? I need to find someone who needs money. Look around. Maybe I'll look around the family. Who in the family needs money?" That's right. Good old Tim Geithner at the Treasury needs money. And what does Tim need money for? He needs money for all sorts of things. Stimulus packages, asset buybacks, this and that. In many cases, to pay the Fed the money that it needs. So the Treasury is in desperate need of money, and it's issuing bonds and selling bonds, that is to say, borrowing money from all sorts of people, foreign governments, foreign investors, but in many cases from the banks themselves. That's right. Chase is going out and he's taking this big bag of money that he's gotten practically for free from the Fed, and he's basically giving it to the Treasury or lending it to the Treasury. And what is he getting? That's right, he's getting contracts, bonds. He's buying bonds which allow him to lend to the Treasury. Okay? And the bonds are, whatever they may be, billions of dollars in some cases at, whatever percent it is for whatever tenor they have. So let's say 5%. It's 5%. Now, when we had 5% of $1, it was 5 cents. But 5 cents of several million or 500 million or $1 billion is a lot more money. And that's what's happening. They're lending that kind of scale of money to the Treasury. And yes, the Treasury is then turning around after the maturity date has expired. It's giving the money back to Chase. So the money goes back to Chase plus the 5% interest. And Chase is then giving that money back to the Fed, for which it's had to pay very, very little, which of course leaves Chase with a very, very big bag of interest gained from the money that it borrowed almost for nothing from the Federal Reserve. It's exactly what happened when Chase was a child. The same thing is happening. He's getting money practically for free from the Fed, free from Daddy, lending it at a certain rate of interest to mommy. It's the best deal that he could possibly have because the treasury debt is almost risk-free. That's why people all over the world will invest in it. And he's collecting the interest off a 0%, practically a 0% loan. He could do that all day. So the treasury's happy, or sorry, the Fed is happy because the banks are recapitalized. The banks are happy because they're making pots of money. The treasury's happy because it's got a borrower and it can get the money that it needs to the Fed. So everybody in the system is happy. People who aren't so happy are the general public who are seeing this happening and thinking to themselves, how is it that something like this has happened? The banks can make so much money off of this incredible system here and we're left with a jobless rate of 10% or more. And that's leaving the American public very badly, needing a drink.